showed desperation in the third period, but did it take you guys too long to get there?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I mean, ideas why? From what
Not
you
enough.
saw?
Not enough. I mean, we can sit here and ask why and why and why. It has to change. Period.
At this
It
point,
has to.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. No.
Is the disappointing point that, especially this game, you were just too easy to play against for 40 minutes?
No question. Easy. Too easy out of the gate. And that is a big lesson that needs to be learned now. Period.
When you look at the third period, I mean, at least you had to push to get a point, but you were climbing up such a hill. What can you take from the third, at least?
It's tough to take anything from the third when you start and you know, basically we lost the game through the first 20 so minutes. So there is nothing to take from it after that. I mean, it's just very disappointed that we didn't start better.
What do you think happened in defensive coverage in that game?
You know, I think pretty simple for me. They were willing to work harder out of the gate. They showed more determination out of the gate, and we were on our heels until we could not get on our heels. And that was you know, through the end of the first, we looked a little rattled in the second for a bit before we got to our game. But the first was you know, I think they set the tempo through their work ethic. We did not. And we ended up on our heels as a result and very hesitant in the D zone to follow. And it took us even a bit in the second to get going.
Consider, I don't know if the goals are really his fault for pulling, but I know we have a game around
Yeah.
for a spark or something.
Yeah, I don't think the goals were his fault, or I can't, you know, if there was any fault of his, it was, you know, more of a fault prior to the goal and on any of those goals. So, yeah, the thought always goes through your mind of, you know, would this change things? Would this be a spark? You know, is it even fair to leave him in at points you're going? It's obviously going through your mind. Back to back's going through your mind as well. You know, I thought our guys, you know, made the push and could have came back, but didn't think it was going to come down to goaltending at that point because I felt we were playing better. Didn't feel we were going to give up more. So, you know, the decision was to leave him in there. I don't think that was a factor anyways, regardless.
What's the feeling for you when you see a lot of mistakes getting repeated through the game like that?
Easy to get frustrated when you see that. You know, and it's yeah, it's just easy to get frustrated.
Don, since you've taken over this team, you've been able to take a group of very young players and get them to succeed after a skid like this. What is the move and what has worked in the past?
We'll push through it. I mean, we'll push through it. They learn. They learn from their mistakes. This group, and you know, they'll learn from this. This will make them better, but it doesn't lessen any disappointment. These are games that we're right there, so you should have the expectation to win, and with the expectation to win, you should have the, you know, that determination right at puck drop at 7 o'clock and you know, win the battle of who came to compete at the drop of the puck. I felt that's where we, you know, this one tonight slipped away, and I felt that slipped away in Arizona. So we have to learn that, take that lesson to heart.
Kind of on that same note, you talk about a need of increase in urgency. Is there a practical way that you can go about that and increase the urgency in the team leading into games?
Can you go further on your question?
Is there just a practical way that you can go about increasing the
We'll
urgency?
on the coaching side, we'll obviously continue to push and demand and grind if have to. So yeah, absolutely, you'll be doing plenty behind the scenes to. Not going to stand here and throw people under the bus, but we, you know, if your team can't get the push themselves or through older or more experienced guys, obviously you're as a coaching staff looking to pick up where needed.
Coach, Coach, not to throw anybody under the bus, but last 11 games, 3 or more goals in each one in the last 11 games. Is it more defense or is it more goals? Not to
Well,
throw
we're,
away?
on the defensive end, yeah, we it's when you're not winning, it's yeah, we're right there, but yeah, it's a little bit. I'd rather stick with the compete. I think a little more competitiveness, a little more determination would flip a lot of these scenarios that we could talk about.
Has the team thought about even calling up UPL at any point as far as goaltending is concerned?
Yeah, the goaltending we don't see as the issue at all right now. There's other things that need attention, and they fall in line more with that compete, as I said. There's lots of when you have a greater intensity and competitiveness, lots of things remedy themselves as a result. So we could look at things in different categories, but that's a big category in itself that covers a lot of ground.
How do you think Paterka responded to a more physical game tonight?
I thought there were instances where JJ was good. There's also instances where he can do more. There's no question he can do more. And with a younger player like him, you're going to bring that to his attention to show him how he can do more, what more he can do. He was okay, but there's a lot more there.
Speaking about doing more, what's the conversations like during this skid in the locker room with the younger guys?
You have to stay in the now. So we have to take a look at this one, and we'll look at it the way I've explained it to the room here, and simplify a game plan tomorrow and play direct, simple, and hard, and that would be the objective.